Hey, folks, welcome to another edition of the Ruckus. Gabe, Farias, Shane Meling. Consistency. Can you believe that?
2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row. And I dressed for the occasion, and you wore a javelina. Javelina?
Oh,
What's a javelina? Oh, javelina. A javelina is a pig, right?
Yeah, they're scary looking.
Is it a pig or is it just a big rat?
It's called a big rodent. I think I forget the proper terminology for it, but there's like a term for javelinas and other.
Did I say Gabe Farias and Shane Meling? I always forget that part.
You did.
I did. Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
You're positive?
Yep.
In case I didn't, Gabe Farias, Shane Meling, and we're talking about the javelinas. Shane Meling
People
would
hate that. People from
Yes.
Kingsville would not like that you said that.
Well, first of all, I spent some time down in Kingsville. Love the city. The only thing I don't like about Kingsville is the fact that you literally have the environmental effects of a coastal town without the water.
with no beach, yeah.
It's like, how the hell is sand blowing in my face when there's no water, man? I get it in Corpus.
I see the palm trees.
Yeah.
They're right there.
Yeah. Again, it's beach-esque. And as you say, as the crow flies,
It's close to the water.
close to the water.
Not as you drive.
Anyways, all
Yeah.
right. So lots to talk about. We're not going to talk about the javelinas and
No.
whether or not it is a pig or a rodent.
It's a mixture, I would say.
What it is a school with a hell of a football tradition and a sports tradition.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about NBA basketball right now. First, obviously, the Spurs lost their play-in game to the Memphis Grizzlies. I think future is bright, a lot of young stars. I don't think DeMar DeRozan is going to be back.
Probably
Patty
not.
Mills, maybe. I think they need one of those guys to come back. Rudy Gay's another guy that's a unrestricted free agent. With the young guys that they have right now, DeJounte Murray, Derek White, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Jakob Poeltl, they've got a good young core. What's his name? Number one, shooting guard.
The dude with the crazy hair.
He used to have crazy hair.
Oh,
Now he
no
no
more.
longer
Yeah.
has crazy hair. What's his name? Oh my
I'm
goodness.
blanking on him.
Oh my God, we're the worst. They've got a good young.
What would be very helpful is if they moved way up in the lottery.
I don't know if that's going to happen. Now they've actually weighted it to the point where the team with the worst record has an actual somewhat of a chance. Now it's weighted to the point where the teams that are really bad have
It
the
happens,
best
though.
shots. Oh, it's happened before.
When the Magic got Shaq, didn't they have a
Yeah.
1 out of 66 chance?
But again, now it's like a 1 out of 60,000 chance to land that number one pick or to land something of significance. Either way, the Spurs make the most out of their draft picks, and you know that they're gonna draft well, but they need that one vet, that one coach on the court, so to speak.
Maybe they can get Kawhi back.
That's not going to happen, I don't think. But what is going to happen is they may get swept.
Yeah. The Clips might be in big trouble.
They're down 0-2 right now, of course,
And
when
they're
you
going to
watch
Dallas.
this. And they're going to Dallas. 2 big wins by Luka.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Luka.
He's very good.
He is incredibly, incredibly good. Is it Samanek? Samanek.
Doncic?
Doncic? That was my third guess.
Samanek?
Samanek's the guy from San
That's a
Antonio.
different guy, yeah.
Yeah, it's a guy from San Antonio. He's good. A lot of upside. But Dallas is good, man.
Yeah.
They're solid. They got a chance to pull the somewhat of an upset. The Clippers, what was
The
it, 4
Clippers
and 5?
asked for them. That's the thing. The Clippers, asked to play the Mavs because they
Yeah.
wanted to avoid the Lakers' side of the bracket.
Yeah.
So they're kind of getting what they deserve, I think.
Well, if they lose, I think Kawhi is gone.
Yeah.
And
What about Paul George?
where does he go? Well, I'm pretty sure Paul George is going to be going too. Where does he go?
It's funny. I was listening to a podcast an hour ago, and they said
That was a loud throat clear,
That
by
was-
the way. Sorry about that.
that's your classic.
That right there is one of the problems of still having acid reflux and having really good equipment now. Is that when I go,
Picks up everything.
when I make that sound, everybody can hear it.
You still hear it.
Yeah.
I heard
yeah.
I was listening to a podcast, Bill Simmons' podcast, and he said, "Don't sleep on the Knicks getting him
Maybe.
because the Knicks have a very
Core.
strong core,
Incredibly good core.
good team, good coach.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Doesn't
But-
want to be a West Coast guy, though.
I feel like no one knows any answers with Kawhi. If someone says they know, they don't really know.
But your uncle, what's his name? Uncle Slapnuts knows. What's his name? The uncle?
But no one's talking to him.
Yeah. Well, it's either way. I think right now your pick of the Suns and the Bucks. Bucks are pretty good.
Bucks look good.
3-0. They're now 3-0 in that first round series. Which, by the way, what happened from one year to the next? Because last year the Heat came out of nowhere to upset the Bucks to get to the NBA Finals. This year it's not even close.
It was the
game 3 was a blowout.
It was the trade they made in the offseason.
Yeah,
that's. And why am I blanking on everybody? Gabe, their guard that they got from New Orleans, and they.
Oh, yes. Gordon? No. Come on, man. We are the worst
We're
at
so
this.
bad. I'm gonna look
research, man. We got to You're my research
I
guy.
know, but you think you know, and
I'm
then
the
you
pretty
get,
face.
and then you forget.
And you're the research guy.
I am.
You'll find it.
I'll find it.
Either way,
Drew Holiday.
You're still,
Drew Holiday is the reason.
Are you still good with your Bucks and your?
I'm
Suns
still good with the
pick?
Bucks. The Suns. Chris Paul.
Hurting.
I think.
Yeah, that's tough.
It looked really good after one game, but
in all fairness to you, your original first words out of your mouth pick was, I want to say the Lakers if they're healthy.
Yeah.
And that may not be too far off.
I don't know if they're full healthy, but
But
LeBron's kind of rope-a-doping them.
70% LeBron and a
AD.
full AD. That's a pretty lethal mix.
Yeah, they're going to be tough, but I think it might be the East. I think the East will win this year.
I still say the Jazz and the Bucks in the lowest rated series in the history of NBA championship.
What are your
basketball.
thoughts on the Nets?
The Brooklyn Nets are a team from Brooklyn. They're owned by a communist. A former Spurs executive is their general manager. I mean, I don't know. He's not a communist, by the way. I think he's just Russian.
He's Russian.
Yeah. There's no more commies left, right? Well, there are. They're just
actually
not.
no. I think he's sold.
It's not the commie anymore.
I don't think it is.
Okay, my apologies to commies.
Yeah.
Knicks and Hawks. It was a big shot by, was it Trae Young?
Yeah.
At the end of that first game, I think the Knicks are going to win that series still.
You think the Knicks will still win it?
I think so, man. Nets are on a collision course with the Bucks, I think.
They're going to play this. They'll have to play the Sixers next, though.
Yeah.
That'll be tough.
76ers 2-0 against
Wizards. Yeah.
Against the Wizards. Of course, they got aided by popcorn throwing.
It will
Westbrook.
be the Nets and Bucks next round. Yeah.
That'll be an interesting.
That'll be very good.
Interesting series.
What do you think?
I like. The train's coming, so our folks are going to be so
excited.
This is why I pay $72 for this office in the studio. It's like every 17 minutes you got a train that's going to go by. But other than that, it's a good room, great acoustics.
It keeps you on your toes. Do you think? Okay, so looking at the series, the ones I feel like the Jazz are going to win over the Grizzlies, even though Ja Morant's playing really well. But I just think the Jazz.
They're going to win. They're a better
with
team.
Donovan Mitchell back, they're gonna win.
Not uncommon to lose that first game in a series. It's happened to the Spurs several times, and they've gone on to win NBA championships during when they've lost that first game. They couldn't go down 0-2. What happened to the Clippers, I think, is a death sentence. I can't see
go down 0-2 at home.
At home, yeah.
That's
you split at home, you go back, you split on the road, you're good.
Yeah.
So I think the Jazz are going to be okay. I'm still good with my Jazz.
Do you like the Nuggets or the Blazers?
I like the Blazers. I know that losing Murray was just, I think, in my humble opinion,
keeps him from going too far.
Keeps him from going past the second round at least. May not make it out of the first round.
That's what I mean. They're playing the Blazers.
Yeah.
So you think the Blazers are going to come back?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll come back. I think they're.
Nuggets are up 2-1.
2-1. Yeah.
So I'm going to go Nuggets. You can go Blazers. We can circle back to that one next time we talk.
Yeah, we'll see. I still like the Blazers. Okay. Lots of basketball to be played in that series because they're all best of sevens now, right?
They're all best of sevens.
Okay.
So I can see that one going 7.
Yeah. So if they get to the end of the game and they're shooting, Damon Lillard's got a 1-1 at the line,
they're going to win. I can see that going.
First of all, there's still more 1-1.
I know.
Okay.
Who do you think is going to go 7? I think Knicks, Hawks. I feel like Nuggets and Blazers.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. I don't think any others.
The Jazz Grizzly, that's 1-1. The Jazz are going to win that. It's been interesting to see how this thing has played out post-COVID. Fans are now starting to pile in. We're not near normalcy, but we're getting there. And it's just cool to see. We talked about the FA Cup and how Leicester City won in front of 21,000 people. Of course, it was a split crowd between Chelsea and Leicester City. But seeing the crowd and feeling the energy kind of makes you think we're almost coming back.
Did you watch the PGA Championship?
I did.
It was like old school, like people just running all over the course.
Yeah. Poor Brooks Koepka.
They forgot to put ropes up around the 18th green for some reason.
Well, Brooks Koepka was like, I love the energy, but I didn't like getting my knee bumped into 3 times.
Well, yeah, he had to it's like he was like I don't know, he had to part the waves.
He got trampled.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, did not know that was the golf course that was featured in Bagger Vance.
Really?
Yep. That's the same golf course.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. The ocean where Walter Hagen hits it into the ocean and hits that shot onto the green. Yeah, it's the same. Kauai Island, maybe?
Kiowa.
Yeah, that was my Kauai. Tomato. Come on.
Kauai.
That's the Kauai Leonard. That's the Kauai Leonard. Same thing. Why do you gotta make me feel so stupid? You can't just 98% of the people that are watching this are now going to know I'm an idiot. Where before that,
only 97.
Anywho, shut up, stupid. Kauai Island golf course.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep saying it just because.
Mm-hmm. You like to.
I like to. That was a tough course, man.
Yeah, but it's funny. Like after what was Phil 10 under at one point at the beginning? Was it the beginning of the third round?
Heading to the third round,
and he was 5 up, and they were talking about him running away with it, and they were talking about what's the largest margin of victory. And then within 5 holes, he was down to 5 under again.
What is the largest margin? Is it maybe a Nick Faldo Masters? Maybe.
I think Tiger's first Masters
was pretty
won by
big.
12.
Okay.
And someone recently may have won by 13.
Okay.
Recently, but yeah.
All right. Well,
it was not that this time.
Either way, it was incredible to watch. You talk about theater of sport. That truly was everything that we love about sports. It was Tiger winning the Masters. It was Tiger winning the Tour Championship 3 years ago, and then coming back and winning the Masters. Although I still say Tiger's win at Augusta was a bit more significant, being all of the obstacles he had to get through to get to that point. Phil's win was, and of course Phil Mickelson won the PGA Championship at 50. Yeah. He's the only golfer in the history of golf that could win the PGA Championship and then turn around and win the senior PGA Championship in the same year. As a 50-year-old, he qualifies for the Senior PGA Tour. Very, very significant. One of the most significant feats, I think, in sport. It's never been done. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's funny. I was thinking the same. I was kind of thinking that when he was winning, I'm like, he could win a lot of majors this year because he gets to play. He can play if he wants to double.
5-year exemption for everything now.
Well, and for me, I like watching Phil, but I've never been I'm cheering for Phil to win this. I've always been a Tiger guy, but I found myself I was rooting for Phil to win.
Dad said the same thing. I was watching with my father at his house, and he said, "You know what? For the first time, I'm a Phil Mickelson fan. I want him to win." When he won that first Masters, when he won his first major, we kind of were Phil people.
Yeah.
And he makes that putt, and yay!
And he got
Mom,
2
what's
inches
for
off
dinner?
the ground. He got 2 inches off the ground.
That vertical, that massive vertical that went. It was weird because he jumped and his feet went this way and his arms went like that, and it just wasn't the most manly of jump ever. It wasn't the Tiger fist pump.
Mm-hmm.
It was
it's funny. And I was texting with maybe you. Yeah, I was texting with you. Just how saying he's not making the dumb decisions that he's made in the past.
He made one,
but he's he kept it in play.
Yeah,
and
it was not the snap hook into the catering tent on 18 of the U.S. Open when when all you had to literally do was hit a 3-iron down the middle of the fairway.
Yeah,
and just coast it in.
But that the chip in was huge.
Yes.
It was because it was the first 6 holes. It was back and forth. Him and Koepka were going 2 strokes each way, every hole.
It was fun to watch. It was great theater. It was great to see him win. It was great to see the crowd. It was great to see energy.
Yeah.
It was great to see energy. But I'm going to ask you a question here, and I made the comment on Facebook, and I got little I don't know, hashback, I guess. Pushback? Hashback. Yep.
Hashback.
Yeah, Mexicans say hashback. Okay. We got the hatchback. Like my car. Like my car. I said that with that victory, it pushed him into the 3rd greatest golfer of all time. Yeah, in my estimation, everybody says Tiger 1. I say Jack 1, Tiger 2, Phil 3. With that win, I think the feat of winning as a 50-year-old man was good enough to push him past Tom Watson into that third spot. Had Tom Watson won
when he was 59,
at the Open Championship, I think that solidifies him as the third greatest golfer of all time. Maybe not greatest. How about third most significant golfer?
I can see that
of all time.
Because
I say both. What are your thoughts?
I would have to look more into third greatest. I don't know if I would go that far, but definitely like in terms of significance and like culture, like people knowing him.
Yeah.
You know, he's super popular, has been forever.
Yeah.
And we've known about him forever because he won as an amateur. You know,
I'm going to try something right quick.
Yeah.
And I forgot to tell you.
Am I speaking into the wrong side?
Well,
oh, it sounds so much better.
I know. My apologies for the first,
It's okay.
15 minutes of this podcast. You're still audible.
Yeah.
Remember I told you.
I sound way better now.
Talk into the M, mijo. Talk into the M.
Well, I forgot.
That's okay. Hey, you know what? It's, I'm going to.
But I would say Phil is definitely in the conversation.
Sounds so much better. I can't even begin to tell you how much better this sounds. When you buy these things at Family Dollar, you get one chance to
speak into it.
It's kind of like a blade. It's kind of like when you're swinging a blade in golf. You got like a sweet spot the size of your pinky to hit it. Same thing with these $8 mics,
Yeah. It's sounding good now.
Yeah, there you go. So getting back to I say
third best,
third most significant and third greatest golfer of all time. Winning as a 50-year-old is such... It's like averaging a triple-double over the course of the year. Now, the counter to that is...
That's Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook, a great of all time. I think that those numbers were a bit padded.
Yeah.
On a missed free throw, everybody would get out of the way. He'd jump in. There was some padding to that. This was him winning this.
Yeah. Well, I think, it's funny. You see all his second-place finishes at, like, the U.S. Open. If he just has one of those, then I think it's one of those things where people are saying yes, for sure.
So what's he got? Eight
he's
majors
at
now?
six majors.
Okay.
So he's obviously that's a very select group, 6 majors or more. So I would have to look at it more, I think. But Arnold Palmer, in terms of significance, if you think Arnold Palmer took it from people playing golf to being on TV, he was the first guy to go over to the British Open from the U.S. really to make it something those guys did all the time. So
yeah,
I wouldn't want to forget Arnold Palmer in terms of significance, especially.
I agree with that. I truly do. And again, he is. So I guess the argument is number 3 of significance.
Yeah,
is either Arnold Palmer or Phil Mickelson.
I would say that.
And number 3 greatest golfers is either Phil Mickelson or Tom Watson. With maybe
there's a couple guys like Byron Nelson and guys like that that we didn't get to see play.
Significant in what he won the most tournaments out of anybody, if I'm not mistaken.
Was who?
Was it Byron Nelson?
I think it's Sam Snead.
I'm pretty sure it's a good.
Byron Nelson though won like 8 tournaments in a row at one point.
Well, and he did that while a good number of men, if I'm not mistaken, were fighting in World War II.
Yeah,
I think that's how that worked out.
Yeah,
he didn't. He wasn't in the war, so golf never stopped.
Right,
and he just won a bunch of tournaments because he was playing against guys like you and me.
Yeah,
we're
pretty good, but not that good.
I think I could take him.
Maybe now.
Byron Nelson, is he still alive? I actually was a producer on a radio show that on a golf show where 2 of the guys interviewed Byron Nelson.
Really? That would be cool.
God, it was so cool.
Yeah.
Listening to him tell the stories, it was pretty, just to be a part of that.
Yeah. He would probably be, I don't know if he's alive. If he is, he's got to be around 100.
I don't think he's alive.
Probably not alive.
Yeah.
That's
okay. Well, either way, it was definitely fun to watch, fantastic to view that. And I still think the guy's got some juice, man. I think he could win a couple more tournaments.
It's funny. I think so too.
What was your most impressive moment of that round? Because I've got mine. It's pretty specific.
Impressive. I think it was just...
And it's not the chip.
No, I think it was just after like he settled down at the beginning, he never like fell behind. He never fell behind. And so whenever he needed to make a shot, he did. And then all those other guys fell by the wayside. Louis, Koepka just couldn't keep it going. And then, you just kept looking and it's like, oh, all these guys are only at 2 under.
Yeah.
And Phil never got worse than 5 under.
Yeah, he stayed steady.
Yeah.
And you're right, the steadiness was very non-Phil.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was so weird.
My moment for him was the I'm not sure if it was 14, 15, or 16. Long ass hole. Brooks Koepka gets up there and launches a 361-yard drive. Okay? Number one of the day. Phil Mickelson, right after him, launches it as a 50-year-old dude, 366-yard drive in the back nine of a major with just a few holes to go. That's one of the greatest drives I've ever seen, period.
Yeah.
360.
I remember seeing it. Yeah. I can't remember the hole either, but I remember seeing it being like.
And you saw it, you thought, man, he caught that. And then you watch it in real time and you see that little white ball and you pass and you're thinking, he hit that son of a bitch.
Can I talk about
370 yards?
The tracer technology?
I love it.
It's amazing. It makes golf so much better.
I love it.
It's like, it's like they hit it and then they show and you can tell, oh, that's going to be a bad shot or not. Otherwise, remember the old days, it'd just be like they'd show the ball in the air. No idea where it's going.
Well, what they would show is they'd hit it and the ball would shoot off to the right because everyone played a draw.
It always looked like, oh, there's no chance.
Yeah, and the next thing you know, it's in the middle of the fairway.
You're like,
But that part is so cool. And the antithesis to that, I hope I used that word right, was when hockey tried to use the tracer technology.
In the 90s?
And it gave people seizures.
That was on Fox. For 1 year it lasted.
Yeah, it was terrible.
That was the technology that if the puck went a certain speed, it turned a certain color.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah, I had a seizure when I saw it.
Are you okay now?
I had to watch hockey with a pencil in my mouth. My apologies to the Epilepsy Foundation.
We'll send a donation.
Yeah. But seriously, it was so wildly unpopular.
Yeah.
And the counter to that is the similar technology that is so wildly popular.
It's so good. Now when you watch a golf broadcast and you don't see it on a shot, you're kind of like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? Just show it.
Yeah. And it's just cool also when they hit a bad shot and you see the golfer point.
They point with their club.
Right. And you just kind of see, oh my God, it's going to hit somebody. It's going to hit somebody. You really hope it doesn't happen. Didn't one of Phil Mickelson's drive hit a guy in the head and bounce into the fairway? Did you see that? Did I see that?
I saw the one where it went into a crowd and he's like lining up to hit a shot. And the guy's like, just so you know, someone picked up that ball and moved it 5 inches.
I don't remember that.
There was like a whole little kerfuffle.
A kerfuffle, okay.
Where everyone in the crowd is just telling him all these little things like, oh, the ball got moved. Someone picked it up, and then they set it back down, and the guy's like, it was here, and now the ball's here, so you should probably put it back here.
I don't remember that. What I do remember is, and it was very funny, and this is Phil is a funny man. He's a funny guy, kind of like Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Big, fun personality. He wasn't like that for a good part of his career. Yeah. He was kind of a turd, right? Turd-ish. Yeah, Phil.
Yeah.
So later in life, he's become very humble, very nice guy. He hits a ball into the crowd, hits a guy in the head, and it shoots off. He walks up to the guy, and he feels terrible. He says, hey, man, if you only had a softer head, I think that would have stayed in the fairway. So either way, big win for Phil Mickelson, big win for golf.
Yeah. I think since the pandemic, golf has been one of the sports that's really done a great job, and I would say they're gaining popularity.
Yeah.
Just from there's tons of good players, and they were able to get going right away. So I think last year especially, people started watching golf because nothing else was on.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get hooked.
I agree. Have you watched Ted Lasso yet? We got a couple minutes.
No, I haven't. Sorry, Gabe.
Oh my God. Watch it.
I'm sorry. Have you watched F1?
Yes,
Formula 1.
I have.
The Drive to Survive.
Yeah, the one about the cars and the 20 people and what you said last week.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I watched it. Watch Ted Lasso. That's going to be our task. I'll watch the Formula 1 thing that I'm sure I'm going to hate.
Nah.
And you watch Ted Lasso, and you're going to come back. You're going to say, Gabe, I cannot believe how good that show was.
All right.
You want to bet?
No.
I
like TV shows usually.
All right. So
I can kind of give a big shout out at the end.
I was going to say Smithson Valley, man.
Smithson Valley baseball. So we've had a very good year. I think, we're currently like 34-5, something like that.
Wow.
But they matched up with Reagan, who's number one in the state, 12th in the nation last weekend in the regional quarterfinals. And we got 2 walk-off extra inning wins to advance. In the first one,
extra inning walks.
Walk-off wins.
Walk-off wins.
First one, we're down 3-1 going into the bottom of the 7th.
Okay.
We tie it up. A guy who's hitting .230 on the year hits the game-tying single.
Good for him.
In the 8th, they don't score, and then we get the first guy singles. Next guy goes to bunt. Bunts it right out in front of the catcher. Catcher and pitcher, miscommunication. They both stare at it.
No.
The pitcher then grabs it at the last second, air mails it down the right field line. The guy from first comes around to score to win the game.
And that's how the series was
That's
won?
how the first game was won.
That's how the first game was
In
won.
the third game, went to extra innings again. Reagan scores, and then we came back and scored twice in the bottom of the 8th to win it.
Good for the Rangers.
And so they're playing tonight against Eagle Pass, Game 2.
Yeah.
Smithson Valley won last night 4-2.
Second most exciting thing to happen to me this year involving Smithson Valley Athletics. The first being Larry Hill was actually a really nice guy when I interviewed him on television like 4 times.
I know.
Everybody kept saying, he's a difficult guy, Gabe. Be careful. But he's one of the nicest that I talked to all year long.
I've always had good interactions with Coach Hill.
He's a great man. Pretty good football coach, too.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah. If you like winning a whole hell of a lot.
If you don't want to have losing seasons, he's a good guy to have.
And just a quick story on Larry Hill. I interviewed Larry Hill when I was a radio guy for KGNB, KNBT in New Braunfels when he first got the job, and they were bad. I think the second year he was there.
His first year they won 1 game, I think.
I interviewed him the second year. He did my interview then. He didn't give me a problem then.
Yeah.
But to say he's built just a tremendous program out there is an understatement. Congratulations to the Rangers. Big win. And they're 1-0 on Eagle Pass, the Eagles right now. Mm-hmm. Another good baseball program.
Yeah, they're always good.
We'll see what happens.
Yep.
All right, buddy.
All right, Gabe.
Good job. There you go. That's going to wrap up this edition of The Ruckus. For Shane Meling, I'm Gabe Farias. Have fun, folks.